Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of My Car Shop, episode 4 in the 74 Dart Swinger. Today we're going to cut off a quarter panel and start prepping the car to receive the new sheet metal. Hope you enjoy the show. Okay, so the plan is here, we're going to determine how far up we're cutting the new quarter panel on this side, and then get the cutoff wheel out and buzz the quarter panel off and start test fitting the new quarter panel. So hopefully we'll see a big hole here before long. Just need to make a determination where we want to go. I'm leaning towards, it's got one dent in it here. It's pretty good down to here, so we could really just seam this down here. But the best place to do it is here. So we need to make that decision looking at the fitment of the new quarter panel now that we have everything off the back, and see how it's going to go. So Joe should be joining me here soon, and we're going to get after this. Okay, so the discussion that you were watching in time lapse, this quarter panel got damaged in its life. After we purchased it, it got folded, and so we're trying to decide where to cut it. We think we're going to go ahead and use the full quarter panel. The worst damage is right up in here. There's a dent there. I'm wondering if we took the planishing hammer and went after that, get that smoothed out and see what it looks like. I think we can do a pretty good job on it. So that's probably the thing to start with. Is just get this roughed in a little bit and see what it looks like. Okay, so we've got it roughed in. There's little marks in it and so forth, but the crease is mostly gone. There were some oil canning issues that we worked out. It's still got a little high spot, but until we get it positioned on the car and see exactly where the panel is going to come out, we don't want to do too much metal work to it at this point, because we'll just be redoing and redoing and redoing. But we're probably 60% there at this point. So next step would be to get on the car and get things cut up so we can hang this in place. So what Joe's getting ready to do right now is he's got the spot weld drill tool, and he's going to go through and drill out the spot welds that hold the quarter panel down to the inner panels underneath, so that when we cut the quarter panel off, it starts to flop and we can just peel it right off the car. So that's what's happening right now.
Okay, so this is kind of hard to see, but right there is one spot weld. They're easier to feel than to be able to see on the video generally, just because it's so rusty. There's a little indentation there, and there'll be those little dots all the way down the edge of this panel to hold the two together. And the idea is that you take a drill bit that looks like this, and it will actually drill around the outside of the weld in a circle, and then that detaches the weld from it detaches the front panel from the back panel, and allows you to pop this front panel off with a little bit of leverage generally. So we'll get doing it. And after drilling, that's what it looks like. And you can see how the panels are separated there. So you just have to do that all the way down.
So while Joe is working on the spot welds, I'm here starting to work on cutting the actual sheet metal off. So I'm leaving a bit of an overlap. We may go back and trim more of that, but that's where we're going to have a double layer here, because the quarter panel is going to go over the top here, but we'll still have structural integrity here for the quarter panel to hang on as we put it in place, because the new quarter panel is quite a bit thinner than the original, and we want to have that extra strength on the top. I've done a lot of these, and this is the way I find it best to do. Back here, we will probably flange this in and then weld that panel in right close to the edge here. So that'll be what's happening there. So it's a slow process with a cutting wheel, but the plasma cutter's dead, so this is the way it's got to be done. further because you could cut the inner fender well in there. So you could be cutting the inner fender well in there now. So. So that actually went pretty well. This quarter panel extension is much better than I expected, so we don't have much to do here. A little rebuild there. And then we have to create along here, duplicate the opening of the quarter panel, which will be real easy because the quarter panel is off over there, and we can just make that with the shrinker stretcher and then patch it in here. So actually this is much better than I expected it to be. The end of the frame is opened up. We can clean that out and get some rust treatment down in there. This car was Z-barded when it was new. That's why it's in as good a shape as it is. So we got some cleanup to do down here, and then do some inner panel repair, and that'll be it. So here's Joe. You did a good job. And okay, boys and girls, here's a question for you. This piece right here, what is that for? There's a specific purpose for this piece right here on the inner fender well. It's your trivia question of the day. Put your answer down in the comments down below there, and let's see who gets it right. You may win the grand prize of the pride of knowing you won the grand prize. So just for giggles, we're going to just hang the quarter panel on there and see how it fits. You'll want to open the door, Joe.
Two people.
Well, I can carry it over there. It's not that big a deal, but. It's got a little hump right there. We'll have to massage out. This up here is actually pretty good. I'll do a little bit more hammering down, but yeah, you can see it's got a little bit of a little high right there. Which way did it bend? This way or this? I can't remember which way it bent.
Out here.
Yeah, okay, so I just didn't dolly it in enough. Not bad though. Oh, there you go.
That's not ideal either.
No, well, it's got some oil canning, so I think if I go at that with the 6-inch grinder, I can shrink that a little bit. Yeah. It's close. All right, so I'm back here in the studio and putting together the video, and I realized that we hadn't done a wrap-up for the 74 Swinger quarter panel removal, so thought I would just do that right now and kind of talk a little bit about what's coming next. So the next step is we need to fabricate the inner panels, where there's a little bit of things we need to clean up.
residue from the quarter panel that we took off. There was a couple spots down underneath where there was just a lot of spot rivets, or spot welds, excuse me, and we just want to air chisel all that off of there and get that cleaned up. Maybe take it out and do a little sandblasting, we're not sure yet. Then we need to start fabricating the new sheet metal to complete the inner wheel tub and a piece on the quarter panel extension, trunk extension that's rotted off there. A couple things are bent, we'll have to hammer and dolly that up. That's the goal for the next episode that we do on the 74 Swinger. So stay tuned for that. We'll get to use some of the new equipment in the metal shop, which is part of the reason I purchased it, knowing this project was coming. And also just wanted to mention that we do have some other episodes coming. We've got an episode on the 69 Charger that I'm almost finished with. I hope to have that out in the next few days. So stay tuned for that. Of course, we'll be working on the 47 Ford. I'm also working on the 26 Oakland, and I'll have some stuff to come out on that soon as well. So there's a lot happening in my car shop, and I appreciate your patience over the past many weeks that I have been incapacitated and very limited in my ability to be able to work in the shop. It's been a real blessing having Joe home here from Texas and being able to tag team and work together on things. Obviously, we haven't done that in quite a few years now. So it's fun to be able to work together again on the projects. So if you would do me a favor, if you would subscribe to the channel, I really would appreciate it if you haven't done that. The more followers that we have here, the more things are available for me to offer you, and we really want to do that. If you're enjoying this content, also please tell other people about the channel. See if we can get them to subscribe. When you subscribe, be sure that you hit the button, or the bell, excuse me, so that you get all the notifications about the latest and greatest stuff that's coming here at My Car Shop. There's a lot coming, and we intend to be delivering more and more content as we're capable. We also appreciate you working with us as we are continually evolving how we do the videos. If you go back to the 70 Challenger episodes that I did, the first ones a year ago, they're pretty crude. Didn't know exactly what I was doing. Still don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having a lot of fun developing this more and more into more of a formal show. So it's a process, and we hope that that early stuff is fun because of its what's the word? Because it's crude and just kind of is what it is. We're trying to get volume levels and all kinds of other things better and better all the time. But I don't want to hold back from sharing what's out there, hoping that some of the early stuff is a lot of fun so that you can watch channel development as well. So hey, as I mentioned, please subscribe if you would. We'd appreciate it. You can follow us on Instagram, /MyCarShop. We're on Facebook, /MyCarShop. So we're on the internet there, and you can follow us there as well. Make it a great day for yourself, and rock on.